Hello, it's Tristan here from Zebra Invest, and today I'm back again with the deal finding series. And what we're going to be looking through today is hunting through property data to try and find some great deals out there that people can actually get into, get investing in, and find property in the area. So 5 weeks ago, I created a short just saying, look, I'll find you a deal, and whether it's a buy, refurbish, refinance, a flip. Something you're going to rent, or even title split. So I've had quite a few people get in touch with me. We've gone for doing a whole total of 6 in this series, but the idea was I'll find a deal anywhere but in Norwich. So what I'm going to do is literally show you how, step by step, how I find these deals and how you too can find these deals using property data. So at the end of this video, there's a discount code like there's been on a couple of the others. And you'll get a 14-day free trial there when you sign up, and you'll also get a 50% off your first month. I'll also put a discount code or a link in the bottom of the description as well. So this is now I believe this is now my 5th video. So we're 5th video. And we're now going to Holly, and Holly is based in London. And we had a look around. She's based in London, and people think to themselves, well, if you're in London, there can't be any deals there. It's got to be really hard work to find an opportunity. Well, one of the things that I'd actually done in London, and granted the numbers didn't play out quite the way I wanted to, because the builder managed to screw up a little bit, but we went from 1 bedroom to 2 bedroom on a 60 square metre property, and we managed to get the purchase originally agreed for about 185,000, knowing that the property, once it was done up, was going to be worth I think got a number on it, it was 165. We knew it was going to be 335,000 on the back end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to find deals like that in London, how you can find deals like that in London as well. Also, just to let you know, when you are doing stuff like that in London, you need a bit more of a competitive edge. And one of the competitive edges that I found is using short lease properties or finding short lease properties. So I've got a great video on my YouTube channel all about short lease properties, and that will help you get a little bit more of the upper edge to be able to go in, the upper hand to be able to go in and get those deals. So let's do it. Let's jump in, and I will show you property data and what we can find out there in Hackney. So what I've already done is I've jumped into Hackney on Google, and I found that right slap bang in the middle of Hackney is this place called, what I thought I'd found was Dalston. And clearly this time around I searched Hackney, it's kind of a slightly different area. So what I'll do is I'll take the postcode from London Fields Tube Station, which is E8. The reason I'm doing this is I want to create a radius, so an area that within London we can look for good value for properties, because there's so much data in London that property data won't be able to handle it all in one go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to head over to the research section, and the reason I do this, as I've shown you before, if you can create a gold mine area, you're going to be able to be able to dig in, find those properties where they're being sold below the average price in the pound per square foot. I'm also going to have a look for short lease flats, as I mentioned earlier, and anything where it's going to be cheap on the pound per square foot. That's good and gives a good indication that we can make some uplift there as well. And we'll also have a look at a couple of cash buyer properties too. So here you go. As you can see, it's come up with 53 properties, which isn't really that much at all. So what we're going to do is just zoom that out, and I can expand that area. So you can see, as we're expanding the area, it's now bringing in more and more data points. And what I'll do is I'll bring this up to the extent that we've got, see there you go, it's getting bigger. That's a decent sized area to be able to go. So I'm just going to click contract things, there we go, generate data, and we'll run that search. So hopefully we're going to find a deal or two in here for you, Holly. Hopefully something you can work on as well. So you can tell we're clearly outside of Norwich now. The town, you know, these properties are a lot more money. I mean, in Norwich, I'd probably be able to pick up a probably 3-bedroom house for the price of the cheapest 1 bed over there. And certainly not going to be getting a 5 bed for that kind of money. For the 1.1 million at the lower end there, you could buy yourself a 6 or 7 bedroom house in the centre of Norwich. There's some stunning stuff in here. Anyway, I divulge. We're trying to find some decent deals. So what we're going to do here is you can see I've set up my area. I haven't saved it, but what we can quickly do is just go into the pound per square foot. And then what I'm going to do this time, it's like I've done a couple of other times before, is use this to be able to work out which properties are going a little bit cheaper than the average. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to save the area so that I can hunt down through that area to find some really great deals. So what we do here, this is showing you everything that's on the market where the estate agent who's listed on Rightmove Zoopla on the market has entered the size of the property so we can calculate the size of it. So what we're doing is we're going to pick filter, add filter, and we're going to do sold, and we're going to go to negative so we don't have anything coming up that isn't available for sale. And we've just had all that data load on there. And also, as I said, I'm going to save the area as, okay. And here we go. So we've got one massive one just coming up there on the left-hand side, London Fields. Got another one that looks quite small, but there you go, it's coming up down on the left-hand side. We've got another one there that seems to be, when the average is about 800, we can then have a dig into it and see what the areas are like around it as well. So this is how I'd roughly take a look to find those. The other thing you can do as well here is, say for example, as we said earlier, we want to try and find properties where we go from 1 bedroom to 2. So we can say less than or equal to 1. And then if there is enough of that data available, it's going to throw out a few properties for us where we might be able to do this. So here we go. Unfortunately, there aren't enough 1 bedroom or less than 1 bedroom flats available to be able to show that data. So we'll just go back to the set that we had before. But here we go. We've got a few properties that we've already opened. This first one is G-Thick Court. The interesting bit we're going to have here is how much it thinks it is at £1 per square foot versus what it is. And just looking at that, it's going to be around about £450 a square foot. But this is obviously comparing it to everything in the area and other properties that might be a little bit more attractive than this one. And so this is where if you're looking for exactly the same, you're trying to look for exactly the same kind of property, cheapest in the area looks to be 527. Where this property is, they're saying another one in G-Thick Court, flat 19, is sold for 634 a square foot. So we can open that little comparable and have a look. So here we have a look at it. There's 946 square feet, so it's very similar in size. This one looks like it's ground floor and it's clearly got the garden with it as well. So we see that this property is going to be worth more money, but they are in the same style building. So if that's selling at quite a bit more, that's at 634 square foot. Well, this should be coming in, I don't know, I imagine something around about the 550 square foot on the same kind of size thing. But let's have a look through. If it needs a new kitchen, needs a new bathroom, there's already by the looks of things, a 3-bedroom flat over 2 floors. Maybe it might work as a little HMO or something like that if you rejigged it or rearranged the space. But I don't think this is necessarily going to be the best deal in the area. And the uplift is going to be, as we said, on that top end of probably about 500, 550. So we'll leave that one out. And then we can jump in here. We've got another 3-bedroom flat in Hollybridge House. They seem to like these tired kind of styles here. The floor's just all down. So you can tell that it used to be a little rental place. Look, it's got a little garden with it as well. Not the most beautiful of buildings, but here we go. So you've got your garden out, and you've got patio out the front, that out the back, and I'm not sure where the entrance it must be coming in across that patio. The 3 little bedrooms there. As a 3-bed goes, it looks like it's slightly under its value, but it's all again comes down to what it's been selling for in that area and in that building. And is there much else in that area? Not really. And then what kind of comparables is it showing for other 3 bedrooms in the area? And here we go, this is another one in Hollybridge House, that was at 450,000. So I'm going to guess actually, this is just a cheap building. It's not that you're adding particularly much value to it. It's just, this is the same one, isn't it? There you go. So clearly, it must have been on the market for a lower price to then being raised up again. But I'd probably leave that one. Let's go across. Here we go. We've got a nice 2-bed flat, 700 square feet for 300. So looking at that, that's going to be around about £400 a square foot, £420 a square foot, just doing some quick maths. This looks like it's a really good sized flat. You've got decent sized bedrooms here. You've got a nice sized bathroom there. It's saying it's about 700 square feet. then actually if that it was 700 and it is selling at 600 in the area, then that's 420 grand property for 300. So what's making it a little bit cheaper? Great two-bedroom flat, large reception room, available for cash buyers only. Okay, so what does it mean by cash buyers only on this one? They haven't mentioned the length of lease, so you can click into more property deals at Foxtons, which is I don't like cookies, so I'll just click save preferences there. It says why is it a short lease? I'm going to have as a guess that it's got a here we go. So 2000. The lease expires in 2113, so 2113 minus 2022. There's 91 years on the lease. That's actually decent lease length. The ground rent is quite cheap, so that seems fine to me. We've got service charge. It's quite reasonable for the property as well. So, what's up with this property that makes it a little bit? It's quite a high-rise property. By the looks of things, I wouldn't have said it's going to have any. It's not the most attractive building in the area. I'll give you that. But there's nothing to say really why that might be unmortgageable. And usually, you might look at a big tower building or a large block like that to have a much lower value because it has insulation like Grenfell towers. But this looks like quite an old building, so it's unlikely to have one of those. So let's just have a look, see what these other buildings are in the area that's selling at £600 square foot. Another one there for 560. Just having a look around here, 528. So just to give you a rough idea of what you should be valuing on, 579. And then here we go, Charter House. Loading up, but that was 392,000. And that is in a very similar, you can just see there's an image back there. It's in a very similar style building. So there you go, that's a £530 a square foot. Twig Folly, 563, view on portal. Don't have the outside of it, but you can see it's the same estate. So these are actually, they're trading at a little bit less, probably about 550 square foot. But it looks like to me that there shouldn't be any real reason that this wouldn't go through. So if that was at £550 a square foot, so 550 times by 700, you should have, again, 385,000. So it is a bit below the market value, but it's not exactly what we were looking for originally. So Tristan, let's stop looking at all these ones because clearly they're not working. We've got a little one bed here, 135,000. That's way below the average, and that's because it's a retirement flat. I've already done other videos on YouTube here showing you about retirement flats and how they can actually make really quite nice flips. Because if you look at this, all the walls are all going to be plastered smooth. So if you put new carpets in, redecorate through, fit a new kitchen in, you could possibly, with the landlord's consent, make it open plan kitchen, living room. And then it could actually end up being a nice size room. And again, it could be a really nice property to simply convert and turn it into something quite special. And then if you then look for the comparables, it's saying as this is that property in that building there, £135,000 on the comparables. And then if you then look at show the pound per square foot, again, the area is trading far more expensive. So this could be, once you've got the freeholders' consent, really quite a nice deal to be able to do. And then you've also got, apparently it's saying it's got a short lease as well. So that's worthwhile taking a look at. Then if we come on to another one, here we got a one-bedroom flat, 167 square meters apparently. And that actually, in my eyes, looks like it could be quite good value, albeit absolutely spanking. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? So what's the trick that you could do with this one? Looking at the floor plan, it's a massive property. You've got plenty of access to light on the front, but this is where the issues are. There's no access to light at the back of the property. And when you don't have access to light at the back of the property, it means you can only have the one bedroom here because you can't squeeze another bedroom in beside it. Unless you cut one out, then you're going to make it really dark inside. So Tristan, so far you failed. Excellent. Now let's go to the sourcing system and I'll come pick up a few out of there. So we're now back into properties that are cheap on the base per £1 per square foot. And this time I'm going to try and look for something that looks a little bit more like your standard kind of Victorian conversion, because these are the ones where you can kind of maximize the value out of them. So I'm going to go with, looking at these, I'm just going to open up to one here, because obviously it's obvious from the front. You can see from this one, it's got an odd staircase in it. That one looks a bit like a purpose-built house to me, flat to me. This looks like a slightly more older property. Again, that you can see by the wooden effects and some of the paneling in it, they're more modern properties. Again, that's the same styling through it. Open that one up just in case. And then through. What else are we finding here? Something that looks a little bit more. There we go. Open up that one there. That one there. We've got a lot of money coming out on these ones here at the end here. And there's one I just missed as we went through there, right at the bottom. And the reason I noticed it was you can see here it's got sash windows. And sash windows you'll typically find on a Victorian property. So 829 square feet. It's saying the area is worth quite a bit of money. A 2-bedroom flat. What's it going to come out with? 625, so a little bit undervalued there. But then this is one of those ones where can you add another bedroom, or can you reconfigure the existing space to make it more valuable? And you can see here, one of the bits you can see that looks fairly obvious to me, that you can see that the staircase is turning out here to come up here. If you could turn out the staircase, I realise it's fitting a new staircase, and put another one over the top of this to turn around, then you could use all that space upstairs, the 25 square meters, possibly split that into 2 and get a 3rd bedroom out of it. And I imagine a 3-bedroom property is going to be worth far more money. And if we take a look through, got a nice little outside area which you struggle to find in London. And this is why the stairs haven't been turned around, because the head height there isn't quite high enough. You can see it's a really nice kind of size property. It has already been kind of figured, I'd say, to try and maximise that value. But I would say it's probably quite a good value 2-bedroom property, but it's just going to be a 2-bedroom property at the end of the day, even if it is a large property, just because of that head height in the loft. So then we're going to go across, and we've got a 3-bedroom flat here, 850 square meters, or so 850 square foot. But are they being cheeky? Yes, they are being cheeky. I reckon they've included a loft there as a space. But that could be quite a nice one to be able to convert and add that space upstairs, because they're saying a 3-bed here is worth 477,000. If you really do have all that space that they're advertising here, and it's got a share of freehold, then that is 850 times by 600. And we're at £510,000. So I guess if you then do to convert the loft as well, you've got some real uplift there, which can make it quite juicy. Or it might even be that at this size property, would you be able to actually split it and get 2 properties out of it? So you have, say, a 1-bedroom flat at the back and 1-bedroom at the front, and then the 1-bedroom you could loft convert to then actually have it as a 2-bedroom flat. So you end up title splitting the property. And the reason I suggested that one here is because it's got a share of freehold. So you're likely to have a little bit of control or the ability to do that. And it is in quite a good location, not too far from a tube station. So that could be a quite neat little buy. And I'd probably pop round there and have a look at it if it was me. Here we go, we've got another one in Blackwood House. And you can see again, this is why I went for it about the windows. You can see a nice size property, 958 square feet. And it's saying here that a larger property like that is £664 a square foot. And you can just see by the size and the height of the ceilings, hoping that it is an older property. But you can see it's been rented out. It needs some love, doesn't it? But is this a property that you're going to get the uplift in? It is a Victorian kind of conversion. I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look at the sold comps in the area. And this says, slap bang in the area, they do get a little bit less, 476 square foot. And then we're getting, if there's anything else around there, let's open up the comparables on the show comparables. And then again, this is picking up the 450 that we're looking at. And there's another one there for 450, Sovereign House. So this is one of the ones that I didn't click on earlier. To me, it does look like it's a no deal on that one. So we're going to go over to a 2-bed here. All looks quite modern, all done up. It's a similar kind of shirt size and shape thing as the other one. I'm wondering whether this bedroom actually has a window. Because if it doesn't have a window, it can't be classed as a bedroom. Legally, you can't use them as bedrooms. So that'll be interesting to see whether or not it's the one. There's 2 there. Nice little like extension off the side. Nice roof light there. Oh, and at some point it's had a window from there and the other side. Notice it misses that bedroom, doesn't it? Virtual doors. I need to where we might be able to get this classic little piece of kit. And here we go. This is where I think we're just going to be able to see the problem straight away. It's not that one. Okay, it's a nice flat otherwise, isn't it? It does have a window. It's got a bit of borrowed light up there. It's quite a nice size room. And that's why I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that's why the price is a bit lower. So is it a deal of the century? It's quite good value for money. Is it something that you're going to want to buy? Do have a refurb? I think it's already had it all done to it. So not much luck so far. Here we go. Cecilia Road in London. It's got its own entrance, Victorian conversion, over 2 floors. This is it sounds like it's sort of ticking quite a few boxes. So it was in decent condition. You can tell it has been a rental for a while. Just looking at the thing. Yeah, there you go. I think it looks like that came down into the basement. Clearly needs some new bathrooms and a refurbishment. But it could be a really nice, lovely place, especially seeing it's over 2 floors. And here it's saying ground floor is 58 meters, the first floor is 49.2. So actually, I realise, Hayley, this isn't the deal that you were looking for, but this could be a really nice property again to split into 2. And if it is the size that it's saying is, then here that's quite easily a property that's going to be worth about 800 grand or so once it's done. Is that going to be the cheapest property? But actually, you have to have a look and see how it values as 2 1-beds. But that would be quite interesting. We're not finding the mega deals that I was hoping we would. So after we've gone through all those ones, the ones that have been cheap pound per square foot, let's quickly have a look through and find what else is sitting out here. So cash buyer only is usually with the sky higher ones, it's where they've got fire issues or something like that. So I want to avoid those. We've got buildings like this where they're built in the Victorian time and they shouldn't have the fire risk issues. You can see this one's been listed twice with 2 agents. And above a shop sometimes can mean a problem. But here it looks like it's just above either a betting shop or something like that. So that's going to be all right. Coming down, it's gorgeous, doesn't it? But it doesn't look like we've got much of a problem there. So here we go. What we've got here, 52 years on the lease. This is where I was saying about short lease like flats and where they can be a great opportunity. So this is already a 2-bedroom property. So have a look at the floor plan. That is colossal in size and a really nice layout. You might even be able to turn it into a 3-bed if you say move the kitchen into the reception room or put the kitchen into the bedroom at the back. So then you have all these as separate bedrooms, their own fire escapes. And then it's saying a 2-bedroom flat. The area is worth 664,000. So this looks like, if you watch the video I've done on short lease flats, it could be a really good opportunity. You could purchase it with agreeing the lease extension on the way in. I'm sure you can negotiate a bit more of a discount on that, especially seeing as the property's been on the market almost a month or so, and it's been reduced at the start of the last month. So that's one. I think that could be quite a good little deal. Hayfield Yard. This is, as I said, it's the bottom of the flat, 800 square foot at this. Probably not far off what it's going to be worth. So is it going to be worthwhile going for it? 62 years? No, definitely not. So I think we've got one little one there on Tudor Grove that's going to be worth you going to see. And then if we look for more short lease properties, it tends to accidentally pick up these commercial units. And it's usually where someone might be at the lower end actually trying to sell their shop. But it's something like this, where it's above the tax assist. But you can see just in this image here, for example, it's got a cafe on the grill next door. And where you've got on the grill next door, definitely not worthwhile buying. Actually, this is for the commercial unit. I wouldn't be buying this commercial unit because it's not something you could convert to residential in the future. and it's only reflecting by it's 14,000. It's not giving a very strong yield either, but that's not what we were looking for. So we've got, interestingly, listed again with 2 agents, or listed twice at different prices. Got this one here in Hoxton. Again, looking at this property here, we're next to a sandwich bar, dry cleaners, and dry cleaners are a fire risk as well, so avoid those like the plague. We've got another one here, and another one in Stepney. So let's have a quick look at the 1 bed here. And what we're always trying to look for is how much light has it got. And clearly it's got light at the back for a bedroom there, and it's got light again here for the kitchen and a reception room. It's 54.61 square meters. It was quite decent size. So you might actually be able to work out how you can rearrange this. Say, for example, you put, let's say 2 bedrooms here, and rearrange this to be able to put a smaller bathroom in. You can have an open plan kitchen and bedroom at the back here, which would be quite nice in size. And then if we then take a look through, and it's actually, it's in all the right condition there, but quite long, a bit narrow. It could be rearranged neatly. And then what's it actually going to be worth? As a 2 bedroom, it's going to be worth more than the 1 bed. All day long, it's going to be worth more than the 1 bed. And we can see already from this what size it's saying. It's not telling us how big it is. There we go, 58. So that could be worth about, looks like it's worth about, it's on the market for about the right kind of price. You can see here at 571,000. There's got to be an option here. 58 years left on the lease. Again, as we said, we were looking at short lease properties, so this could be another quite neat organisation. So look, they're happy to initiate the lease extension process, so the new buyer can extend it. So that could be quite a good deal, especially if it's already 150 grand under the value, and there's an opportunity to turn it into a 2 bedroom as well. Here we've got another 2 bed, already a 2 bed, so there isn't going to be that much value to add to it. But they've all got their own windows. You can possibly have an open plan kitchen living room if you wanted to. But I've got a feeling a 2 bed of this size is just going to be good just to refurbish it and update and modernise. So it's saying here a property like that should be worth about £450,000. So a bit of a discount there. And look, there you go, they're already extending it for 125 years. So that's actually, to me, looks like a great deal for you. If they're extending the lease for you, you're clearly just buying it below the market value. So there's no reason not to go ahead, snap that one up, refurbish it and turn it around. So I think actually so far, the ones that I've quite liked are, we had, which one, where have they gone? We had Cecilia Road, looks quite good to me. And there's 2 bed here on Lee Convacey Road, looks pretty good. And this one at Haberdasher Street. So I've banged on for ages, really gone for it, and gone through loads of different options of properties that are available. So hopefully you found that really useful. If you've got any comments or any questions, drop them in the below. But if you are thinking about signing up and using property data to find deals like I do, if you head right over to property data, you can see they've put the discount code straight in across the whole website, so you can see exactly what you get. So for your first month, these are the prices for the first one. Personally, I would say it's recommend signing up for the Pro plan. It means you're going to be able to at least go out there, hunt around, find some decent deals and get working on them. You'll get the 14-day free trial to jump in there and get around and searching around. I've got a discount code, which a link, and I'll put in the description below. So then you can just click on that to get your 14-day free trial and the 50% off. But well worth jumping into property data and finding opportunities like that. Hi, Hayley. I hope that you find that useful, and catch you guys all later in the next video when I go to South Wales.